It's time to talk about naked extreme sports. You know, and Michelle, I'm hoping you can relate to this. Not from the standpoint that you do your naked extreme sports. That's not what I mean.
But she's an outdoors girl.
But she's an outdoors girl, and she likes to do sports outdoors. And I'm just wondering, you know, have you seen anybody doing a naked extreme sport? And here's my thing. Like, I want to see your wiener.
But
I don't want to see your wiener.
See that, especially...
I've seen a wiener. I've got a wiener.
Okay,
I don't need to see their wiener.
And now, skydiving is something I've always wanted to do. That's still on my bucket list.
Are you going to do it naked?
No.
Because I might come watch it.
Because have you seen, like, people when they videotape themselves skydiving, even your face is flapping back and like...
Well, because you're going to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, you're
quickly.
So...
Yeah, let's look at this. I mean, this is something else.
Yeah, let's see the video.
Can you get that YouTube video up there, Nathaniel? Yeah, let's see if we can get that going. I mean, but again, why? And you know he's got a nasty old man crack. Who wants to see that?
Well, I just don't see how any of this...
He's not a porn
Plus, if you
star,
land
so,
like on a tree, don't you want something to be covered?
Not this guy.
This is crazy.
I mean, this guy, he wants to do naked skydiving. I mean, it just blows me away. Here we go. We got thumbs up for 2 guys. Okay, this is a little freaky. You got one guy sitting behind another guy, and they're naked.
They're in close proximity. Oh, but they do have on socks and tennis shoes, I noticed.
Well, yeah, because you don't want to.
So there's that.
Yeah, you don't want to spill out. Was this like in Europe or something? Normally this is a European thing.
Yeah, I think where
it says Nebraska man did it.
Yeah, but was it here?
I mean, it's not like we're setting a world record here. I mean... Yeah, I just
Nebraska,
don't. You can see his booty there. He's got a harness on his booty and around his insiders.
See, like I don't
know.
Can we get some audio on that interview? I want to know. Does he say why?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, so he makes this, and I didn't even know you could do this. So Nebraska man makes 60 naked skydiving jumps in 24 hours. I didn't know physically you could jump out of a plane 60 times in a 24-hour period. Like, to me, at some point, is that dangerous?
Right.
Like, like scuba diving, like going, up or down too fast. I don't know. Like your equilibrium changing or something.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like a world record. I mean,
he was, and I love it. He was dressed in nothing but his safety equipment, and I'm just thinking, where'd that safety equipment? Doesn't it fit around certain?
Well, it goes. Well, no, it's a harness. It's a harness. So it goes between your legs.
That's what I'm saying.
Around your booty. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's something else. It's something else.
I don't know if
I think
you
Nathaniel's working on the audio so we can hear the interview.
If you land in a patch of, briar patch or something, or road, somewhere where there's thorns or like really
now that I would want to
pointy,
see.
I
would want to see that.
Okay, so you'll see the epic fail.
That's extreme epic fail. Yeah, they got a whole channel for that now. So
so I guess he's trying to get into the Guinness Book of World Records, which you're a member of.
Right, but why? For what?
But
the number of times his wiener flaps in the air. I mean, what is it? A wiener count? I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my head around this story.
Now this is funny. So we got to go to some comments from the crew. So Leilani says, please no, let's not try that. Now, this was, I think, me walking up to a woman and saying, I love your thongs. And then Michelle says, depends on what I'm wearing. And Ann says, she's going to slap you for calling her a dude. Probably. Leilani says, now it's shoes. JP, coming from you, I would die laughing. I could see that. Let's see. Yeah. Michelle says, this is now transitioning to skydiving naked. Yeah. Some things should stay covered. Just saying.
Agree.
Ann says, ignorance at its best. Amen. And then Michelle says, there's not much room in the plane. Been there, done that with clothes on. Yeah. You know, the one guy's wiener's touching the other guy. You just do. Because they're into such close quarters. Yeah. Okay,
I do have something. I went and read the end of this article, and I think this is so nice. He said the gentleman who did this as a fundraiser for mental health, which is phenomenal, after the recent death of a friend. He said, my friend that we lost to mental health issues was about close to his 100th jump. He said, close enough that he talked about it all the time. He didn't get to make it, so I'm out here for him and a lot of people that we lost. He ended his attempt with 60 complete naked jumps over Weeping Water, Nebraska. His attempt raised money for the Movember Foundation, a charity dedicated to men's health and suicide prevention.
Well, there you go.
You know what? Good good for him. I still don't want to see it.
Not a fan
Still
of
don't
him.
want to see it. Still want to know were you worried about exposed parts or anything?
Could you imagine taking off from Omaha?
What a great fundraiser.
And you're heading with your children to Florida.
And
on your way to Florida, you look out your plane and there's
there's a skydiver.
Kids,
look away, kids.
Don't look.
Don't look.
That's not Mickey. No. Yeah, I mean, so I decided this morning, okay, how many people have done naked extreme sports, right?
And well, talk about what it pulled up to on the search.
Yeah, so I searched this in, and it says nude and extreme sports. Oh, but wait a minute, porn videos, Pornhub. First 2 websites to pull up from me talking about extreme sports naked is Pornhub. Then after that, it's comelouder.com. I'm like, where does this stuff come from? And there's 3 of those. And then it was pornjam.com, then xvideos.com.
So from naked extreme sports, it automatically assumes you're going into porn.
I don't get the...
And so, you know what? You're probably, on that computer, you're going to get pop-up commercials that are pornographic in nature.
I didn't touch on anything.
Explain that to Courtney.
Yeah, but I didn't touch anything, though.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I didn't touch any of the links. But so the first real thing that you get is like 10 sites down, and it's tweet naked, a bare all social media strategy for boosting. So like there's even a strategy.
Does that mean?
Well, that means that you use your nakedness to do what you're doing to boost your social influencerness.
Yeah, and I think there's so much of that out there on social media and the internet now that I wonder at some point do people just become immune to it? Like, you know, porn used to be
numb.
That's what I mean. Numb. I mean, like porn back in the day, you had to go to a movie theater to see, like, what was that? Debbie Does Dallas or something like that was like the big one back in the 70s, I guess.
Yeah, Kathy. I like you don't know what you're talking about.
You know what?
Oh, Debbie Does Dallas was very famous.
Yeah.
It's a very famous.
But you had to go to a
X-rated,
movie theater.
I think back then it was X-rated.
Yeah, because here's the thing. You didn't have DVDs, VCRs, any of that kind of stuff at that point. So it was you had to actually go out of your house, walk into that movie theater and go see that. Then it got to the point where, okay, well now I can get, you know, and at that point in time you were still able to get magazines and stuff. But then when VCRs came out, you could do that in your house with a VCR. Now, you had to usually go to an adult bookstore or something like that. Because remember, back in the day, you weren't ordering online. You weren't looking at social media. But I think now, and then, you know, then you got the DVDs, and it starts getting easier, and then all of a sudden, like, R-rated movies are inappropriate. Yeah. Well, but here's the thing. I wonder, and this is a question for the crew for a future Crew's Corner, possibly. Coach Quigley's like, no, not this. So are people kind of just immune to, because you see it on social media, you see it you can literally, like you just did, you're innocently looking for something else. It pulls up 3 porn sites right away. You can access that.
Well,
Nobody knows.
No, 10 porn sites.
Nobody knows you're looking at it. So are people kind of like, it's kind of like, you know, just no big deal anymore? Has it saturated the market, I guess, is what I'm asking.
I still think people have that shock factor. I mean, I think that's why they do.
But is pornography shocking anymore? Unless you're somebody who stayed away from it. If you're in this younger generation who's seen it all.
Well, we've kind of changed the topic. I want to get back to extreme naked sports.
I know, this is serious. Let's go back to naked sports.
We can talk porn versus porn later.
I would like to know about that. It's a good topic for down the road.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's still somewhat shocking. I mean, I think that people don't want to see their children pop on those pages and stuff. I mean, I mean, I still think it's a little bit, but anyways, still the largest industry in the world, they say.
Wow. Oh, and I think
even more than oil, by the way.
Even more than what?
Oil.
Wow. What about alcohol? Because I think porn and alcohol went up during the pandemic.
I agree with you.
I mean, neither one of those industries were.
They have a YouTube page, and I don't know, Nathaniel, if you can go out and find this YouTube page, but it is Naked Extreme Sports Compilation, and it's on YouTube, so it can't be pornographic. And
Dr.
it's an
Good
extreme.
Said that's your mother's computer, John.
Oh, I know.
Sorry.
And so it's the top 6, and it's on YouTube. If you can find it, just kind of verify it's not pornographic. Again, I don't think YouTube allows porn anyway, so I think we're okay. But bottom line is that this is a thing. Like, people, they do this. And in fact, Newsweek.com did cover the guy who did the skydiving naked 60 times to set the Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh, okay.
So it's also in Newsweek.
Very cool.
Magazine. But like, this is a thing. Is it pornographic, Nathaniel? Sort of, yeah. Oh, is it? Okay. YouTube allows that? I thought YouTube didn't allow that.
It had like a warning when I clicked on it.
Oh, and we would.
Well,
get shut
nudity is
down.
all right, but if they don't block it out.
Some of them they do. It doesn't look like all of them.
Okay, well, let's keep that off there.
Yeah. Nathaniel's like, oh, I do
I'm
not
scratching
get.
my head.
He's
Let's
like,
not do
I do
that.
not get paid enough for this, kids.
But
Bite the bullet on that one.
yeah. But again, what's interesting is that there's a whole YouTube page for this.
Yeah.
And again, YouTube doesn't do porn, so it can't be pornographic, but nudity is nudity, I guess, by itself.
I think I've seen nudity on YouTube things just with a warning, but it's not pornography.
Right.
But like somebody vacuuming or something. Which that reminds me of that Seinfeld episode where there's good naked and bad naked. Does anybody remember that Seinfeld episode?
Yeah.
And like opening a pickle jar, bad naked. Vacuuming, bad naked. Laying in bed strategically, good naked.
Yeah, this would be considered bad naked.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's dangerous naked too.
Can you imagine extreme canoeing?
No.
Yeah, naked extreme canoeing.
No, you couldn't. You would have to sit on something
Well, I mean,
besides your privates.
well, you got your privates there.
There's.
Can you imagine the
gotta have a
sunburn?
barrier. You got. Oh, you would need to. It's like, don't forget to cover your ears. Let's ask Dr. Clothier about that on
No,
Monday.
that's funny.
Let's not.
Let's
okay?
ask him about that. That'd be kind of funny.
No.
What kind?
So Dr. Clothier, we have a question from the crew. If you are naked skydiving 60 times in a 24-hour period, what kind of SPF coverage would you recommend? If you ask him that,
That would be funny.
Actually, he'll have a funny comeback.
He will have a funny comeback.
Yeah, I know him. He'll have a funny
But
comeback.
yeah, you want to make sure you're rubbing your privates with the stuff that's not going to burn them up.
I just, so no nair.
Because then I'm telling you, you are not going to set me in a bottle of Nair. That's not happening.
Oh.
So all right, so yeah, so this naked extreme sports thing, not my gig, not my jam. So, but I guess if it's yours, do it. But
And hey, and if it raised money for a good cause for this guy, God bless him, more power to him.
now let me give you an example.
Just give me warning.
Oh no, that's funny. Gail says roller skating, bungee jumping, and running.
No, all bad naked.
Well, let me help you out. You ready for this? So I think I've told you this story.
Yeah.
I'm in San Francisco. I've got
First of all, that sets it up very
right.
well.
I'm down on Fisherman's Wharf, and I've got Tanya and her grandmother, who's
Yeah.
like 85 years old.
Yeah.
And we're upstairs at I think it's Fleshman's is what it's called, the bread company.
Oh yeah.
And I'm
oh,
having
butter. Isn't Fleshman's butter or are they bread?
no, I think this is bread.
Okay.
So-
Fleshman's margarine, isn't it?
Well, it could be, but I think that's a bread company too out of San Francisco.
okay.
The famous one, I think.
Now that makes me want
So,
bread.
anyways, they had
Butter.
the clam chowder bowl, bread bowl, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I get that. Not that anybody needed to know that. We're on the second floor.
But I'm hungry now.
Yeah, right.
Thanks.
So the Ripley's Theater is over here,
Oh,
and there's
yeah.
all kinds of stuff where all the kids can walk around and
Yeah.
stuff, right? So here come these two dudes. They're about 6'1". They're older guys in their walking shoes and in their hats, their little
Fanny
sunglasses,
pack.
and their fanny pack.
Love it.
And
yeah.
that was it.
Oh, well, wait.
And that was it.
Rewind.
I know, and they're walking the streets, and they're fast walking, so their wiener and gobbly bits are bouncing.
Oh no.
Now
that's is that allowed?
evidently in San Francisco it is. Grandma gets a big smile on her face.
I love it. God bless
So
Grandma.
that was funny. And so Fleshman's Yeast, thank you, Ann. And it is a famous bread company. So Grandma gets a big smile on her face because she sees these two men. Of course, I mean, they're just as gay as they can be. But here's my thing. If I had Katerina out there at 6,
Well, I was gonna say, where was Katerina?
well, she wasn't with us. But if
Okay.
Katerina was with us and she was 6 years old,
I
and she ran into him because they're coming through a big crowd.
I would have lost my mind.
Oh,
if
I'd have grabbed him
people
by
were
the wiener
naked.
and I'd have twirled him around.
Well, I just, and it's one
not
of those
happening.
things that there's certain places, party on, rock on, in a place where that's allowed. Kind of like, do they even have these anymore? Naked beaches?
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
that
I'm
used
sure
to be
they
a
do.
thing. So I know there
I
was
don't
a
think they
place
call
called
them
Hippie
naked
Hollow.
beaches,
There's a
though.
place called Hippie Hollow. It's a a lake in
All
Austin
nude
area, and that's a party place. And that was everybody. If you wanted to sunbathe nude, that's where you went, kind of a thing. I remember when I was in college in San Marcos, everybody used to say that. Didn't go. I know that's the next question out of your mouth. Nope, didn't go.
Yeah, that was coming by.
But we did,
like a train.
We were in a boat and kind of drove by, and you could kind of see some of the folks, and there's a lot of nakedness going on. So I think there's places where they designate where you can be naked. But isn't that like a federal thing that you can't be naked, or is that by city?
No, municipal code.
So I guess that's a local decision, which I'm all about local government and local control.
Yeah, but I mean, these guys, I'm telling you, their wieners were flapping.
But that's not okay if you've got your kid out, especially in a kid-friendly area.
And that was a kid-friendly area.
You're in a restaurant, like a place, Fleshman's, which is a family-friendly kind of place. You're at, Ripley's, believe it or not. All these places, if that's a strip of family-friendly places where kids are going to be,
yeah.
Why would you want to do